Howdy, howdy. I was just talking to somebody and they've been a long time follower of our channel and they thought we were saying something that we really aren't. And so I wanted to jump on here, clear up a misunderstanding for all of our dedicated subscribers and watchers. This is something very important that I feel like is crucial to financial futures. Um, okay, sorry. I think I'm live, but I'm having some issues here. We'll see. Okay, we're good. Um, I think Brandon's watching some of the comments and will let me know for sure. But I really need to clear up this misunderstanding. So I'm going to wait a little bit, make sure people are here for the live while you're waiting for me to jump into it. Give us a thumbs up, click share, post a comment. Let me know that you're here and that you're catching the replay or you're joining us live because it's something super important that I wanted to get out into the world. Also, happy Engage with Money October. What you're hearing from us on our channels, on all our social medias, and our emails is this is the month to think about your engagement with money, to re-engage, to engage for the first time, to think about how might you engage in a way that's would bring you more joy in your future. And that's actually where this misunderstanding comes from and why I wanted to clear it up is because this is a block that stops so many people from engaging with money if they are engaging, it makes them question every move they make. And I really don't want that for you. I don't want this block to be in between you and having a smart, stable, amazing financial future with lots of freedom and independence to do what you really want to do and to bring joy into your life. Because this is what it really boils down to. What this person said to me earlier today is, "Well, I've heard you say you hate budgeting." And but, like, I use some budgeting softwares and, here's how I use them. What do you think about that? What would you do differently? And I had to be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 wait a minute. We do hate budgeting, but in the sense of when people define it a certain way. And what we really love to do is redefine budgeting because for most people, budgeting is used in ways that are not helpful, that feel really restrictive. The "it's not in the budget" is like the most common use of the word budget in their vocabulary, right? Like as they're talking, that's the only time they talk about the budget is when they say it's not in the budget. And I hate that feeling. I'm an entrepreneur. I never want to have those words come out of my mouth, which I got to tell you, stick around. I'll tell you when I was telling Brandon about this, what he said back to me that caused me to pause for a second and what I said back to him. But let me get back to this guy. So he says, I hear this from you that you hate budgeting, but I love, how I'm doing it. And so I first cleared up that, we don't necessarily hate budgeting. We hate how most people use budgeting. And we like to redefine it as simply engaging with your money and specifically engaging with your money in a way that brings life, that brings joy, that you never have to say, well, we can't do that. It's not in the budget. But instead, you get to ask questions like, well, if we did that, how would that impact the other things that we're planning to do with our money? Right? We have sat down, we have said, here's what we want our money to do for us. How would this new thing we're considering, how would that impact these other things that we want to do? Because really, budgeting, how most people use it, is restrictive. You make a decision, you can't change that decision, you're stuck with it. I hate that. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't want that in my life. Instead, I want to engage with money in the sense that I give every dollar a job, right? I'm telling it what I want it to do, but I'm able to say, oh, this new opportunity came up, or gosh, there's been 8.6% inflation, or I just had this thing happen. what do I need to change about how I'm engaging with money to make sure that it continues to bring me joy, continues to bring me life? That is a very big difference there. And I want you to have that second one, not this restrictive, well, it's not in the budget. We have to stick to the budget kind of thing, but to have this ability to think for yourself, to determine, okay, yeah, we could do that, but here's the implications it would have, and to be intentional in that way. So when you hear us talk about we don't like budgeting, we want to redefine budgeting, but we invite you to engage with your money, that's the very big distinction that we're making. Now, I said that to Brandon. I was like, I need to make a video about this. This is, just happened today. I need to get this out into the world, clear up this misunderstanding where people think we hate budgeting. And so we're not actually engaging with our money, and share how we are engaging with our money in a way that's bringing joy. He was like, yeah, but you just said the other day that we can't do X, Y, and Z because we don't have the money for it. And I did say that the other day. It was in our business. And within our business, we've chosen to adopt, I actually have it on my desk, profit first, and use this way of engaging with our money in our business to determine how we're going to manage the cash flow within our business, right? We take our profit first. We, set aside money for taxes, all those kind of things, and then we spend the rest. That becomes our operating expenses. And we wanted to do something, but we didn't yet have the money in our operating expenses to do it. And so in some ways, profit first, using that concept, has restricted us within our business from doing certain things. And that could feel like it's part of that initial way that I was talking about budgeting, where it's like, it feels very restrictive. We can't do it. It's not in the budget. And not like the second way that we invite people into, where we say, well, if we did that, here would be the consequences of it. Do we still want to do it? Very different way of engaging with money. And really, what I was saying when I said we can't buy that thing for a business that would be part of our operating expenses because there's not the money in our operating expense account right now, I was saying, well, if we bought that thing, we'd actually have to reduce our profit, our owner's pay, or we'd have to steal from the money that we set aside to pay the Internal Revenue Service the next time we have to send them a payment. So it's not that we don't have the money, it's that we have the money, but it's already allocated to doing other things. I don't want to take it from that to do this thing now. We can wait 6 weeks to do it when we have more money in the operating expenses. So that's where I feel like profit first is different than budgeting too, is that it's saying we've already chosen our profit. We've already chosen our salary. We've already chosen we don't want to be on the wrong side of the Internal Revenue Service. And so therefore, this is what we have to do with what's left over. And sometimes, yes, that's restrictive, but most of the time, I get to then celebrate with that profit distribution. I get to make sure that my personal life isn't suffering because I chose to be an entrepreneur and start a business. I'm getting those rewards for the effort that I'm putting in. So I wanted to clear up that misunderstanding. If you're just joining us, you're checking out the last part of this, I want to be very clear. The way that most people look about budgeting is it is something that's restrictive. You set it up and you have to stick to the budget. You can't move. You say things like, we can't go buy ice cream because it's not in the budget, or we can't add this streaming service because it's not in the budget. We can't go on a vacation because it's not in the budget, which is very restrictive. Why most people give up on budgeting, because they hate having those words come out of their mouths. And I'm with you. I hate having those words come out of my mouth too. But I don't want to be irresponsible. And so we like to give this other alternative. I talk with my hands, obviously. This other alternative where we can engage with our money, see what it's doing, tell it what to do. And when something comes up that we want to switch, that we want to change up, we can look at, well, what are the consequences of doing that? What are the pros and cons of doing that? And we can make an intentional choice. And that actually means you probably engage with your budget more often, or engage with your money more often. But it also means that you're able to every day make a choice, every week make a choice, every month make a choice, and feel in control, feel empowered to make your money do what you want it to do in that time, in that space. I've got a one concluding thought. I just need to take a sip of water real quick. Yes, this is live. So, if you're with me, if you're like, okay, I like that. I want to move from this restrictive to this more expansive, intentional kind of thing. But it sounds like it's a lot of work. I want to let you know it's not a lot of work. We've got a step by step, simple way to implement it. Brandon, if you're watching this, I'm going to ask you to put it in the comments for me because I didn't put it in the description of the video when I posted it because I wanted to go live, get this out there in the world, clear up this misunderstanding. So it's actually a 10-step process to set up this system, to learn how to use it, and to intentionally choose how often you want to engage with your money. And when you have those opportunities or you have those threats come up, how you can look at what you've already done to make a decision like that, whether you want to move forward with it or not, based on that intentionality. And so we are calling it Manage Cash Flow Like a Millionaire because the millionaires and billionaires out there are not saying, we can't go get ice cream because it's not in the budget. No, they're saying, here's how I want to be intentional with my money. Here's how I want to tell my money what to do and make sure it's always doing what I want it to do. And so there, we created this 10-step thing. Brayden just got the link in the comments here. wealthwisdomfp.com/YNAB. www. Let me just put it on the screen here. Show wealthwisdomfp.com/YNAB. Now, YNAB is a software called You Need a Budget. We love them. They're really good at teaching people how to get out of debt, how to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and initially take control of their money. What we like to do in our Manage Cash Flow Like a Millionaire, that you'll find out the details at that link, is teach people how to make their money work for them in the way that's going to really build wealth. Maybe they're already seeing their debts go down. They've already gotten a little bit of an emergency fund cushion. What's next? How do you structure the way that you manage your money in a way that it helps you really build wealth? So all those details are at this link here, also in the comments, so you can check it out there. What I would encourage you to do is check it out and do it soon because it's currently complimentary with your membership in the Wealth Wisdom Financial community. But at the end of October, it's going to cost a lot of money. We haven't set the price yet, but it's going to be an investment in your future. So go ahead and get it now. And all you have to do is invest the time to go through it and to implement it on your own. And then you'll be able to, kind of thumb your nose at the people that wait until November to join in and have to pay a bunch of money for it. Cool. So thanks for helping me clear up that misunderstanding. If you have any feedback, questions, input, if this was helpful to you, please put something in the comments. Also, be sure you hit like and subscribe. Help us get this message out there to people that they can engage with their money without budgeting and without having to say those words. Well, we can't do that because it's not in the budget, right? That they can engage with their money, they can move it toward what's going to bring them joy in a way that doesn't feel restrictive and actually feels life-giving. And that's what we're really all about here at Wealth Wisdom Financial, is about helping people take control of their money in a way that brings them empowerment, gives them hope for the future. No matter what inflation's doing, no matter how tax rates change, no matter, if we go into a recession or not, it shouldn't matter because you know what to do. You've built those muscles. You've developed that ability to roll with whatever life throws your way, to adjust for the twists and turns. So if you agree with that, if you want that in your life, hit that like button, comment, let me know, putting that out into the world that yes, I want to feel in control, that no matter what the future throws my way, I can do this. I want to hear from you. I want you to claim that for yourself. hit that like, hit subscribe, comment, let me know as your way to show that you're ready to make that happen. And then be sure to click wealthwisdomfp.com/YNAB and learn how to manage cash flow like a millionaire. And I'll talk to you again next week with a really awesome podcast episode that I'm super excited about, where we talk about budgeting for mental health. A great, okay, here's the next step to take if you're like, I want this and I don't want all the stress and the guilt and the shame that normally comes with budgeting. Okay, talk to you then. Take care.